we're going to be talking Elvis Presley. There is the show, you know the show Aloha from Hawaii? The big famous, whenever I think of Elvis on stage, that's the show I think of, when he's in his big white suits and he's doing his karate moves on stage and he's looking good. Well, you can go and see the next best thing to going back in time and seeing that live, because a version of that is going to be on at the Regent Theatre. Not till Friday the 16th of August, but we're going to be talking to the star of that show now, Elvis impersonator Gordon Hendricks. Gordon, good afternoon, mate.
Hi, Matt, how's it going?
Alright, man. An Elvis impersonator, that is a good job.
Yes, it is, and it isn't. I mean, sometimes it's good. Yeah, I get to dress up and do my bits, but yeah, be Elvis. It's quite cool being Elvis.
Why is it sometimes not a good job?
When you go in Tesco and you're doing your shopping, it's not.
Well, stop wearing the full outfit in Tesco. That's why. On the checkout, thank you very much. You must love it though, mate.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I mean, I've been doing it such a long time now, and it's just a part of my life. It's a natural progression for me to do. So, you know, Elvis to me is just, well, it gets under your skin. It's like a disease, you know, and it just grows and grows and grows. You know, the older you get, the more you get into the music and the songs that he did, and that's basically what an Elvis fan is. You're just addicted to Elvis. That's what it's like.
We'll talk about you being an Elvis impersonator in a minute, but let's stick with being the Elvis fan to begin with, I think. How did you first get into it?
Well, I started when I was about 3 or 4 years old.
No
funny
way.
enough, I mean, it was a long time ago now. I mean, Dave, but that's how it started, really. And, you know, just listening to Elvis on records and buying vinyl. You know, the little vinyl records then years ago, and I was just besotted with the man, and I always wanted to kind of be Elvis, you know, when I was 3 or 4 years old, and there was people who lived in my street where I lived in Kidsgrove, and I used to pick up like a lump of wood and start singing, you know, when I was 3 or 4 years old, and pretending I was Elvis. So I think my destiny was Elvis. That was it.
And how did the voice come? Did you find that you naturally sounded like him when you were singing along, or did you have to work on it and train your voice to sound that way?
Well, how it started was listening. I mean, I think when you're a child, you're like a sponge and you just take everything in. So because it's like that, and the music I was listening to was just Elvis Presley music, you know, Roy Orbison, people like that, you know, country music, and when I started listening to it, you know, you just take it in and you kind of react to what they're doing, and you know, and then eventually I developed my own kind of style, my own voice. And then it sounded like Elvis. I mean, I'm very natural when I'm on stage. I don't have to try and put Elvis's voice on. It's just a natural progression for me.
So you grew up in Kidsgrove. Is that where you first started doing performing? There must have come a time where you thought, you know what, I'm going to perform now. I'm going to stand in front of people and do a bit of Elvis. Was that just in the living room in front of mum and dad?
Yeah, it was really. And then I used to go out with some friends, and then my party trick was to get up and do an Elvis track, and it was, you know,
karaoke
18.
style.
Yeah, I mean, 18, 19 years old. They go, oh, go do an Elvis. Well, I was like, oh no, I can't, and then eventually I'd go up and do the odd track, and then the whole pub would just be up, you know, and then I thought, I've got something here, maybe I've got something here.
What was the track you used to do? What was your big track back then?
I used to do all the tracks, Suspicious Minds, I Got Lucky, and all the film tracks. I was into the films then, you know, Elvis films, and I used to love them, and I used to kind of give me a karaoke and I'd be on it, you know, and that was it then.
What about the movements of Elvis? So the voice, okay, I can see how that would develop, and you know, but what about the movements? Because when you're on stage, I'm guessing you are Elvis. You embody everything about it.
It's a strange thing, to be honest with you, Matt. When you go backstage, I'm kind of me, and then when I go on stage, as soon as I put one foot on stage, I just become somebody completely different. It's quite crazy, really. I'm Elvis when I'm on stage. And I'm me as soon as I come off.
Do you talk in between songs? Do you talk like Elvis? Do you put on the voice of Elvis, or is it you saying thank you very much?
Well, years ago I used to just be me talking in between, and I still kind of keep that going with me fans who come along to the shows and know me for me as well. You know, not just Elvis, because I'm basically just trying to keep Elvis's music alive and pay tribute to the man. But the show that we've produced now, the Aloha from Hawaii show, is more of a reenactment of the Aloha from Hawaii show, so it's more of an act more than anything. So I have to be Elvis on stage, and it's quite. This is why I was a bit worried about coming to my hometown doing this at the Regent, because I thought oh no, people are going to say,
Old
he's not
mates.
old, we know him, you know,
He
that
didn't
kind of
talk
thing,
like
yeah. That's it really, yeah, but it is more of an acting role, because this show what we're doing at the moment is such a massive, big show production, and it's, you know, it's something special.
It looks like it looks exactly that. It looks something special, and we'll talk more about it, Gordon, in just a couple of minutes, if that's all right. More about the Elvis show and more from Gordon in just a couple of minutes. You're listening to BBC Radio Stoke. My name's Matt White. Time's 1:30.